Took my family away from my Carolina home, had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting from 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, welcome to Red's Coins and Collectibles with Ed, Marvin. That wasn't supposed to do that, everybody. Hey, if it ain't Murphy, it's Ed. Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you tonight? And that's the great thing about live entertainment. You never know what the flippin's gonna happen. All right, everybody, we have a real special guest tonight. We have A Digger DeGaz with us tonight. If you don't know who she is, you're living under a rock, I swear to God. I love her TikToks. Great. She finds all kinds of cool stuff. And guess what? She's going to share some of her gold or treasure porn with us. I know I almost said gold porn, but treasure porn with us. Yes, you heard that right, Jeff. Treasure porn. Coin porn. Green on the coin porn. She might have some of that too, Bill. But nonetheless, we have ToledoJess, Amanda, and I for you all tonight. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with ToledoJess, Dano, the Treasure Vixens, and I.
Don't blame me then.
I blame you. I blame you.
I was out of town.
It's me tonight. Those concrete days will do it to me, Jesse. I
bet.
Did concrete the other day, or on a Monday. Did concrete. Got ready for a pour today. We poured 130 yards of crete today. And yeah, it was fun. But thank you, Lord. My elbow wasn't hurting as bad today as it was yesterday.
All I can say is I'm glad I'm retired.
Yeah, I can't
Have a little more salt for that wound.
Can't wait till that day. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. But everybody, Dano's stuck on the job. You might see him in the room, and he has an invite, so he might make it somewhere in the show. If not, hope it goes well, Dano. And everybody, positive thoughts and lift our sister Rose up in prayer. She's not feeling tip top tonight or today. So just
she didn't go to work today. Stayed home.
Feeling under the weather. So he's been through a lot on the health side lately. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers. And looks like, thank you, Audra. Looks like we're having a
Jersey History Hunter raid.
Yeah, and I'm sure a bunch of teachers are in here too.
Well, let's say hi to our chat room here real quick. While we can
do that.
Oh, there he is. The world's greatest moderator, Mr. Lodak. What's up, buddy? Hello, Ohio Relic Hunter, Don Williams. How are you?
I see our personal friend, Susie Weiss, in the room. And
hey, Susie Q.
Where she is, our buddy Patrick O'Master should be close by. Uh-oh, getting feedback.
Yeah, I heard a little static from you earlier. Oh, Rachel, Shannon Wartner. What's up, Willie? Underground Buddha. You got the underground Buddha in the house tonight.
Something's on your end.
What?
I'm getting feedback.
No, not from me, is it?
Your light turns on when it happens.
Well, are you still getting it?
Technical
too loud or
issues,
what?
people.
Am I still too loud or what?
Your Zoom shouldn't do it.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
guess it was for some reason.
Hmm.
Huh.
Because,
Technical issues.
yeah, dig gun. How are you tonight?
Good to see you.
Oh, first thing I see, message retracted. Uh-oh.
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 Teresa, the treasure hunter. Hello, hello, hello. And we already said Audra and David Villa.
David Villa. I just saw him. Teresa, the treasure hunter. Is that Teresa or Teresa?
Teresa.
Teresa. Thank you.
Teresa.
Well,
Amanda, I'm sure a lot of these people are your friends, right? You see in the chat room?
I do, but it's teeny tiny, so kind of see the chat room.
Okay.
Jersey Ray. Sorry. All these.
Drum Detect, how are you tonight?
Shout them out if you see them, if you can read that small.
Right. Cheryl Lemie, how are you tonight?
Can Do Veteran and Frederick Romano. Mountaineer Michael.
Hey, what's
I'm
up, guys?
trying not to say the same ones you do, Jesse. Don Williams.
See, you just did it. I already said Don Williams.
Okay, Green Garter.
Don't worry about it. I'm sure they don't care. Shout them out.
I'm over it.
Can Do Veteran, what's up?
I do see someone. I see Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our buddy Bill Marsh. He's a regular here.
He likes to pick on me.
He wrote in caps. I can see it.
Oh,
Nancy, Ambient Girl Digs. Good to see you.
See it my way. What's up?
I've been watching his TikToks too.
Michael Busy Bee, what's up? I think we got most everybody. If we didn't get
Brad
you, sorry.
Welsh.
Say hi. We'll get back.
Bobby Buddha. Sorry, Bobby. Sorry, Chris. But the girls are going to stomp you guys. They're going to pull a Emily on you, Chris. But I forgot. Bobby Buddha is involved in this one. Aggie Hall. Hello, hello, hello. Okay.
I see a Tom Kingery.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
The 717 detector. To the top
Past
of my list.
messages are this way. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna get Jersey Ray
Got some
again.
clear.
High Rage. Man.
Brewers Prospecting, what's up?
Jeffrey, it was just his birthday the other day.
Hey, Rachel. And Peter.
Oh, Peter Prospecting. Good to see all of you. Joel,
so after,
okay, I'm done.
Okay, after last week, Jared picking on my mannequin got a little upset. Said, hey, man, you can't put me out there with nothing on anymore. It's all right.
Nice sticker chest.
Yeah, so I stickered them up.
At least it isn't like a Manny family behind you.
Yeah, I got the whole family back there.
but you know, you have to give props to Swifty for doing that, you know.
He hasn't done anything with it. He just
what? He had the Manny sent to him. And here's the story for you, Amanda. Our friends in the prospecting community, one of them from Prospectors Radio lives in Arizona, sent him a mannequin, Manny, and he has it propped up behind him. Then someone, I won't say who, sent him additional mannequins. So now it's like a Manny family. And he has them all.
But he was supposed to video him in scenes of him prospecting
with Manny.
with Manny. We told him use Manny to show people what not to do. Throw a boulder on him or something.
Well, only video I've seen with Manny was pretty close to X-rated.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All I'm saying. Won't get anything else out of me about it. Amanda, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. I think I could speak for Jesse on that, can I? Of course.
Sure, and thank you for getting us out of that conversation.
Right.
So Amanda, I found out that you do well. Actually, I just found out today who our guest was going to be tonight. Right. And so I went and checked out your YouTube channel. Started off with some strange stuff about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what I get all the time.
Me too.
But I noticed that you went from puppies and stuff like that to suddenly you got into mudlarking. What got you into doing that? Is that something you already was doing? Just didn't video it before, just decided to do it, or is that something you just got into at the same time?
The mudlarking aspect of it is something I've kind of done all along. My aunt lived in a cove in Massachusetts, and at low tide, you could go out and you could find flatware and watches and just different things. And then I found out that I could do that closer to home. So, and I'm up in Maine. So I would go down to the river that's bay and goes low tide, high tide, and would see that a lot of our dumps were built on that area. So found lots of really neat things mudlarking. I absolutely love it. It's something that when it is way too hot to metal detect in the summer, being on the water, mudlarking is a lot of fun and a good way to stay cool. So yeah.
So that sounds like fun. I mean, I love.
I agree.
It sounds like fun. It also sounds like you're gonna get dirty.
Yes, very dirty.
Yeah, that sounds like it's a dirty hobby. So I imagine there's a lot of preparation involved before you even go out there. I mean, what are some of the things that you got to have when you go out there? I mean, because there's, there may be somebody, listening to the show tonight, and go, that sounds like fun. I got a creek right down here, and we want people to do that because to me it sounds like fun, and I know like here where I live, and I'm sure it happens in a lot of cities. They're built on old dumps. They've been filled in, covered over, and built buildings on them, and houses and neighborhoods and that. So a lot of the creeks they're going to leak out stuff from the banks as the years go by. So that's always fun. I mean, evidence for me is that there's a creek by our house that has glass from the old glass factory nearby, and it's awesome, But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I was going to say, do you find slag?
I know I answered you a question and I went right on talking.
I was going to say, you must go out there and find some good chunks of slag glass if you had the glass company right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I got tons of it. It's my own little gold mine.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, that's got to be fun. So tools to mudlark are some good mudlark boots. I can't think of what they're called. Bogs is, I'm pretty sure, what I use. And they go up to, just a little under the knee. I found the ones that go closer to the ankle, they can get sucked in and
Right.
you'll be digging your foot out.
Yep.
A pitchfork, relatively a small one that you can use as like a walking stick in the mud. It helps a lot. It also helps to, you put it in and you can flip the mud and see that, oh, there's bottles there. And the other
Well, that
tool that
probably
I,
would be easier. That probably would be easier than a shovel,
yes,
Would like clamming pitchfork?
like a clamming shovel or clamming forks.
I do get a handheld clam rake. It has the 4-prong and it's curved. I found
Uh,
that the curved ones work better than the straight ones that you tend to use while gardening because they have the pointed serrated edge type of thing, and you're
right.
more likely to do damage. Whereas with a clam rake, it's curved, so you can go in and not, there's the potential of not damaging the items. Yep. And
Because
then
I would have never thought of a rake like that. I'd have gone, I'm taking a shovel. I probably wouldn't even have taken a shovel, to be honest with you. I just been looking at the surface, right? But you go deeper than that.
I do a little bit of both. It depends on the day, it depends on the weather, and it depends on how mucky it is. So the mason's tool as well, I'm not even sure what the name is. I just know that masons use it when they're spreading the mud. I use
That's
that.
how.
Yes, trowel, a mason's trowel. And I use one of those when I go down to the different bays and beaches and creeks in my area. It just works well to scrape the surface or flip over an item. That way I'm not having to get completely muddy right off the bat. But yes, sometimes if I do decide to go a little bit deeper, I will use the pitchfork. I did find though the pitchfork, the big tall one that you see in the wonderful famous painting, it's about half that size handle wise, but it's the same aspects. The
That's
4-prong.
a hay fork, right?
I
Isn't that
believe so. Yep.
yeah, that big one
And
the old man's holding on to? Yeah, I think
yes.
that's for,
Yep.
yeah, for hay.
So
Yeah.
I have a smaller one of those handle wise, and it just works great, especially when you do have your boots get stuck. You have something to balance yourself and try to get,
And dig
your
yourself out with.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
I know some people.
So that I'm assuming that probably happens a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It absolutely does. Because at first you think you're sure-footed and that there's stuff there, but you'll find
Right.
that the minute you go to step forward, oh, there goes that boot.
Well, it's funny because as a kid, when we would go down to Texas, we would play out in the desert, and there was around San Antonio, and there was areas that were actually quicksand,
Oh,
and we would literally play in that. So, dumb kids,
yeah.
But yeah, I know about getting your foot stuck and losing shoes, literally losing shoes,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I do have
But
to
I would
say
have never thought of a fork. Never would have thought of that.
the
What
first
else?
time I started sinking, I did start freaking out a little bit. You're never really sure. I know the tide comes
Right.
in, and it's an added output, so water comes gushing out every now and again. So it's one of those things you got to have to stay calm as well.
Yeah,
uh,
right.
I know
Or
some
have
people.
people around you to help you.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I know some people use buckets to put their finds in. I tend to use like a freezer bag. I find it's just easier, and I can stick it in my side pouch instead of trying to carry a pail while walking. It just doesn't, I don't find that the balance is there. So
Right.
that, and then old pill containers or stuff like that is what I put beads. If I find little seed beads or marbles and the smaller things that I know that can get lost, I carry like little, those and a couple other different pouches to be able to hold them.
So most of the stuff you find is small stuff,
Small and big.
small and big. Okay. Well,
Yes.
I was curious about the small because you have to have a good eye to see. So what kind of
Yeah.
things do you look for? I mean,
So
what what is it that attracts you when you're looking around? You say, "Oh, what is that? Is it colors? Is it shapes? Is it,
anything
oh,
unnatural. So the colors and the shapes, I don't know. I tend to spot the little gemstones and the little seed beads and teeny tiny beads. I don't know what it is about it. My eyes are just prone to
They're
it.
tuned into it.
Yeah, tuned in. And while they're tuned in, I'm gonna take full advantage and try to find as much as I can.
Yeah.
I know that I won't probably be fortunate to have that eyesight for forever. So
Well, you know, when you're, believe it or not, training your eyes to see stuff, that's probably something that you're not going to lose right away.
oh, that's
You
good to
know,
know.
you know, I've been like for me, I've been an inspector for a long time, and I have a trained eye on surface flaws, on cars and most anything, right? I know how to look at it. So even now, when I'm wearing glasses, bifocals,
Hmm.
you know, I still know how to see that stuff, and it's what it is, just training your eyes. You won't lose it, not for a
That's good.
while. And I'm old. Ask those guys, they'll tell you. Yes, I did. That was my cave painting. No. uh, so, what else? I mean, that's cool because the less things you got to carry, the better. The less things you got to carry in your hands, the better, right?
Yes. Balance wise, I found.
Yeah, especially if you got to keep pulling your foot out of the
Yes.
mud every step
Yeah,
you take. Well, that's got to be,
exactly.
you really probably got to be in really good shape. And if you're not, you will be when you're done, right?
Exactly. Yes. With basically with any of these hobbies, I know that the dump digging I do as well. I did a little bit of that this evening, and I haven't in a while. I haven't been able to dump dig, and I could feel it. Got home, I'm like, oh boy.
Again, a
So,
different set of muscles you're using.
exactly, exactly. Especially after an entire weekend of metal detecting and not dump digging for a while. I have a feeling going back to mudlarking, it's going to be the same thing. You're stretching your back, you're stretching, all these things that I haven't done in a little while.
Right.
So I just have to get into the rotation of doing them every other day. And
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. You got three different things you could be doing at any given moment, right?
correct,
So
yes.
you carry all your equipment with you all the time, like you have your metal detector and your boots and whatever else you got and
I,
need.
about a week ago, I would say absolutely. Today, I had my metal detector, and I've been working in an excavation site that we have permission at, and it's really old. And I've been metal detecting. Well, I got to talking to the excavator dude when I got to the site today, and he's like, "Oh, we started hitting glass." And I'm like, "No way." So he showed me, the spot, and it was basically where I had considered that there was a dump. And I went back to my truck and I realized I didn't have my shovel, not that type of
Uh,
shovel. I have my
you got an
detecting shovel.
excavator though.
Yeah, no, that he was headed out. I should have asked him to hang out a little
Just
bit.
one scoop. Scoop
Yeah,
me one time and I'll dig
yeah.
through it later.
I should
uh,
have asked him to do that.
yeah, that would have been cool.
Hmm.
That would have been a cool video, you
Yeah.
know. So, what got you going with the videos? Like I said, I noticed that you did videos before, and you were doing videos. Then you started doing this, even though you'd been doing it for a while, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what got you into starting a video in your mudlarking and your bottle or your dump digging? I have some questions about dump digging too, but we'll get to
Okay.
that.
So originally I had started filming these, and then I found that the editing process I wasn't a huge fan of. It was more of my kryptonite. I'd rather be out digging or doing
Oh,
any of
right.
those.
Is that why
Ed.
you like TikTok more?
Yes.
Hey, Ed.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Where's that video from when we went to North Carolina?
Oh, it's an editing.
Oh,
That
that's
was
about
like 3
ago.
years ago, too.
I hear you.
It's
I
an
get it. I
editing.
understand. Editing sucks. Editing sucks. It's not fun.
Yeah, I gotta fire
Some
my
people,
editor. They're not doing their job.
some people are really good at it
You
and
and I
enjoy that.
both, Amanda.
You know, some people love doing it. You know, some people are good at it. I'm not one of those. Just let me. I just video in sequence and put it together and run it out.
Yeah. But yeah, the TikTok really got me back into it. And I was filming a little while here and there for Instagram, and just the people there, they're just really nice, and got to know quite a few people on that social platform, and they liked seeing the videos. So I started doing
Right.
it for that. And then TikTok came around, and I was like, oh, these are just so easy. You can just shoot and post it. I'm like, all right, I could do that. No editing needed. So
Right.
yeah, so that basically is what got me back into videoing the stuff more often anyway.
Right.
Yep.
So are you enjoying your, and you know, the thing about doing YouTube is it takes time away from what you're doing, you
Yes.
know, because setting up shots, getting, you know, thinking about the shots,
Hmm.
getting it ready, you know, all that stuff. Uh, so are you finding it easier that doing it now, maybe you're not thinking about it so much as far as the editing, you're just videoing, you know, pieces and just that's it.
I think so. I think that's basically it. So instead of recording a clip 19 times to be played in this order and have this
Right.
whole video flow, it really takes little to no time to go, all right, so this is what I'm doing. And I go with the flow, and you just push the button and it goes, instead of you, like you said, setting up the shot, and then not just setting up the shot, but retaking the shot again and again and again.
Yeah, those aren't fun.
No, no. And the excitement
Because
gets
it takes,
taken.
well, it takes away from what you really want to do, and that's look for stuff, you know,
Yeah.
treasure hunting, you know. Uh, so you're into dump digging too, which is cool. You know, a lot of us have done it. You know, and I had experience last year or year before. You know, we ran into a a dump site that was well, it was a homestead was there, and we found where they dumped the bottles and all the garbage down the hill,
Yeah, I
and
think
found a full
Amanda
bottle.
has the blue bottle I found.
The poison?
So, did you end up with it?
Oh,
This is
yeah,
that?
Oh, how things travel.
yeah, that one.
You have one like
That was,
this too?
yeah, that's where that's that was
Well,
good. That we found that.
I I could swear it's the same shape. I'm gonna have to go look at that video now, Jesse. But I believe I gave it to Amanda, or I mean, Audra. So, or
Oh,
she
Audrey.
bought it at an auction, one or the other.
Mm,
Because
nice.
she's bought several bottles from my auction.
Very cool.
Gee.
I have no problem about getting rid of my gold or treasure. If someone wants to buy it, I'll sell it to them.
It's awesome.
Uh, so now what do you look for? Are you using, what do you do for your research?
The research I have is the LiDAR for our
Uh,
state works.
oh
So
yeah.
there's a app called ArcGIS, and you can type in the state and LiDAR. It will come up for some states, other states it won't. So I use that, as well as our library is full of the different journals and books from people in our town, and then old historical maps and the Sanborn fire maps.
I love them.
Hmm.
And those show you where homesteads were and things like that, where old towns were. You
Yes.
know, they aren't there anymore. That always amazes me. You see a farmer's field and you look on the map and you go back in time on that map and you realize there used to be a town there, you know, 80, 90 years ago, there was a small little town there. It's gone. Guy plants soybeans.
Yeah. Yep. That, and I mean, our falls and winters, if there's no snow on the ground, once that the foliage leaves, the leaves fall, you can see in and see the walls and see. We're fortunate enough that I live in a very old area, so you can look into the woods and see cellar holes and you could see the
Oh, yeah.
built up of the what's left of the barns, and
Well,
so
that's cool. Yeah.
always looking.
And you say you're in Maine, right?
I am.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, your history goes all the way back.
It
So,
does. Yes.
so yeah, that's got to be cool. We watch, um, what's his name? Green Mountain Melody Technique.
Green Mountain. Yeah.
We love watching his videos. You know, he's up in those hills, finding those walls and traveling around up to the.
Oh my God.
Could find a
So,
lot
yeah,
in the
New England.
woods of New England.
Right, throughout New England, you know, so yeah. Fun videos to watch,
They are. His videos, he does a great job.
yes. Again, there's someone that obviously enjoys editing and,
Yes.
you know, because he does a pretty good job, you know, he's pretty good at it. You know, there's a few people out there like that. So yeah. Then you're into metal detecting too, so that's 3 different things that you do. Are you looking for history or coins when you're metal detecting, or you just whatever you find?
Whatever I find.
Poor
all
man's
of it
hunter.
all of it makes me happy. The
Yeah,
glass, the clay, marbles, the the metal, the relics, the coins, they all make me pretty happy. A thing around here too is a lot of these areas we get permission to detect and search, uh, because we guarantee that we'll give everything back.
uh-huh.
So some of that really helped a lot, but it's saving, these properties belong to their family when they moved and settled here. So
Right.
but
So yeah, you're dealing with people with long lineage living there.
absolutely.
So I imagine that's kind of cool too when you find some old history that the family's lost, you know, 100 years ago. I remember Aunt so and so lost a ring, and they think it was around here somewhere, and you happen to, you know, find it
Find it.
for them. Wow, what a cool thing, you know.
It is.
What a cool thing.
It is absolutely. The thing is, I asked if I can hold on to it for a year because I like cataloging. So every find from the different permissions and different places I hunt gets cataloged in a notebook. So that way I can go back and look and see what I found in the property and where. And it's a lot of
Awesome.
fun to do. So yeah.
So
But
you're
more,
not only are you preserving history, lost things, but you're also memorializing the history since it's been found and what, where, when, how. Well, that's pretty cool. You
yes,
know, adding history to a piece of lost history.
it is. It is.
Awesome.
Even some of these mudlark spots, I have little
Huh?
competitions each year. And I go, all right, which spot's gonna have the most marbles? And
I was
then
going to ask you about that. You
yeah,
find more marbles mudlarking or metal detecting? Mudlarking, huh?
mudlarking or bottle dump digging or
Yeah.
dump digging. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I know metal detecting maybe 1 or 2 compared to the 5 or 10 that I find dump digging. So
Yeah.
or mudlarking, yeah.
Oh, that's where I'm gonna have to go looking for more marbles then.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Want to know something funny, Amanda?
What's that?
It's unusual to see this side of you when usually I see just your gloves.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh
But you find so many neat things, and the way you just pick them out, like trade beads or you name it, dolls, a piece of a porcelain doll, or whatever you find when you're out walking the stream. It's what she's showing us this time. What little treasure does she have? I I don't always comment. I'm bad about that, even here
Me too.
on YouTube. But I do like and I do watch all of it. Um, but I You're part of my break routine. Cause that break, everyone's on their device, and I go to TikTok and scroll through, and I always see something of yours, and I'm like, that's cool.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Well,
more than
something
welcome.
that I found out, especially living in this house, which is over 100 years old. Working around the yard and the garden, there's all kinds of treasures out there. I got kind of a little obsessed at one point. I was doing some digging and I found all these little pieces of toys. That little doll that you have, I found an arm to that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Pieces of brooches and stuff. I built me a sifter. And I was back there sifting through all the dirt to see what was in there, And before I had a motorcycle, I found a lot of nails, screws and stuff like that. But it was cool finding those porcelain things, the non-metallic things, just in your own yard. You just gotta look. But it was fun going out there and finding that bottle dump with Ed. And we were digging around, walking up and down the ravine, and just looking. We really didn't take anything. We were just kind of. It was my first time actually coming up into one of those and knowing what it was, and then searching through it. A lot of cool stuff in there. Porcelains, all kinds of porcelain containers, a lot of broken jars, unfortunately, And what was cool, you could see through the ages, like up until around the 50s, I think is when they probably quit back there. Maybe not. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, actually, I'm pretty sure I've seen some 70s dumps in the back of people's,
right.
like,
Yeah, right.
It's like, they're like, oh, we have a dump out back you could dig in. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, if it's an old one, it's worth, like, it could be worth,
Yeah.
getting up that what we call overburden now.
Yes, true. Very true.
Because we have to do that when we're looking for gold. You if you're in a spot where you got to dig down, you got to get rid of all the stuff that doesn't have the gold to get down to the gold.
Yeah.
So that's probably something you haven't done yet.
The gold prospecting part?
Yeah.
No, I haven't gotten to yet. I was supposed to 2 years ago. I was supposed to head up. We have a friend with a sluice and everything up in Maine, and he's done well. And we were going to go up there with our detectors because you could see the foundations, and there was obviously something there.
Right.
And as well as learn how to sluice and gold prospect. But
Maine has some good gold too.
Oh,
That does.
I've seen a few that he's found, a few nuggets, and it's. I understand. It looks like a lot of fun, and then to find stuff like that, absolutely want to add it to my list of. I mean, I can never say that I'm bored.
Yeah, right. So one of our co-hosts, Rose, she's a magnet fisherman.
Awesome.
Magnet fisher.
We corrupted her though.
Yeah, she's in the gold now too, and
rocks,
mineral, and metal detecting. But that would be something that you might have fun doing too.
Yep.
Magnet fishing.
I do. I've got the magnets. I just haven't gone out yet. Yep. And then
you're ready, huh?
Yep. I am. And then my dad used to bring our family with my sister, myself, and my mom. We used to go to Herkimer, New York in the summers around that area. So we'd mine for diamonds, the Herkimer diamonds. And there's a couple. a couple mountains in New Hampshire that we'd find smoky quartz and tourmaline and some other things. So we hunted
Ooh.
those as well. I got to get back into that too.
Wow, you have a ton of irons in the fire when it
Yes, I
comes
do.
to treasure hunting, that is. Wayne Peterson, what's your best find to date?
My best find, oof, that's a tough one. I do have to say one of the most interesting, I thought, and kind of, you think of finding something your first 2 years detecting, but I did find an Atlanta style CSA belt buckle with the paws still on it. And that was pretty crazy to find in Maine. So that's been one of my top finds. And then the other that is kind of one of my favorites is a silver annular brooch that would have been a trade item probably way back. So those are those silver brooches that has a little flip, and you see that people dig in England, and one of those was here. So that's one of my top favorites as well.
Nice. Very cool.
So metal detecting and most treasure hunting, sometimes you'll find something you have no idea what it is. You ever find anything like that? What do you got?
That silver annular brooch was absolutely one of those things. I was like, I have no idea what this is. It's kind of neat. And John, my significant other, he was like, that's he knew immediately what it was. I'm trying to search quick. I know I have
I
it here.
take it he's a treasure hunter also, history lover.
Yes, absolutely. Um, he is, and he's the reason I really got back into it. So let's see if I can. This is so tiny. Nope.
Oh, and that's used for like a cape, isn't it?
Ooh,
I
cool.
believe so. Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
all
like
hand
for yeah,
forged, and that moves.
that sucker's nice.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
silver. So
Like,
yeah, they pin like either a sweater or cape. They pin it
yeah,
together.
like bigger ones I've seen on kilts and like
Right,
Scottish
exactly.
wear and cool, cool.
yeah. So he informed me. So that was, but there's a lot of things. I know getting into the hobby. Again, my dad used to metal detect as well, and I'd go out with him. And then I met John, and he detected, and I was like, that would be a lot of fun. I remember going out with my dad and my sister while he did it. So I was like, all right. I went out, within the next week and bought my own. I got a white MXT and was out there metal detecting. And just about everything I found was, besides the obvious things, was, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. And then you get into the research aspect, and that's really like a lot of fun. You find things with writing and you can research it, and the old forums really help with some of the
Yeah.
IDs. You could type in, crazy words, fox, cufflink, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you have Talio cufflink. And it's like, oh, that's what that is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed. Once I started prospecting myself, and I started when I was retired. All right, all the research involved, and all the research you do because of what you're doing. You know, trying to, like, for me, where do I look for gold? Right, it was easy because there's a club here. So, but there was, other things to learn. You start researching areas. I got into metal detecting a bit, so I'm researching that. I found that glass in the creek. So I'm going, what was here, And I find out that that whole neighborhood was a dump for the glass, for the old broken glass and slag, and it's all just leaching out of the banks, So
Yeah.
research, and then everybody I've talked to, as far as guests like you guys, that's one of the biggest things they talk about too, is research. It's a lot of research. learn a lot about history. That's another aspect. I was okay in history, but I never really got into it. But
Same.
since getting into the treasure hunting hobby, aspects of this, yeah, the history is cool. You know, I don't know about you, but yeah, history was not my best subject.
Exactly. I was same way.
Yeah, you
The
know, and then
teachers
and
in,
this,
I was gonna say the teachers in school didn't make it too interesting, but thank God my dad was a history teacher and a
right,
historian, and he made it interesting. We travel and he'd take us to historical spots, and he's like, if you want to know the truth about something, Ed, research both sides. And he turned me into a, that's where I get my wonder and wanderlust from, is my old man, thanks
that
pop.
Digologist says that brooch you had is called a fur trade silver brooch.
Ah, for
We
trade,
traded it to the Native Americans for beaver pelts.
Huh.
probably. Yeah, for trade.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
that
Whatever.
area, in this area, Sue said Patrick O'Masters, uh, Sue's his better half, said he found one in Ohio, but there were 10 of Hudson Bay trappers and stuff all throughout your region and ours.
Yep. Yep. So it was traded. So originally it was, when they're found across the seas, they were, the annular brooch because it's round, circle, annular. And then when they were traded here, they obviously gained a new name as well with the fur trade brooch.
right. Well, it obviously became a trade
Yes.
token.
Yep.
You know, it was worth trading. So,
Yeah.
wow, they made a ton of them to bring over as food,
Yes. Yeah.
you know.
Same with the
Uh,
beads, the trade beads.
right.
And those are, I don't know what I did with that. Oh, here I do.
Mountaineer Michael says the fact that
Wow, a
someone shared.
lot.
Oh man,
Look at all this.
Some of them are not trade, but some are. These are, I don't know, too dark to really see, but these are the trade beads I have. I have a
Oh,
couple.
cool.
cool. Can you find
Trade
most of those
beads.
mudlarking? Excuse me.
Yes, the trade beads, absolutely. Mudlarking. And then I know when I started dump digging, I found quite a few beads as well, but they were Victorian beads, the morning beads that,
Morning beads, yeah.
yeah, the black glass, or it's actually red. It's so neat when you put the light under it. But those were, I think, probably some of the first beads I had ever found. I liked them. I still like them.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, when you were saying I got the marbles, here's one of the little ones. This is all some of last year's. I have 2 big bottles of the marbles.
And you find a lot of marbles. You do a lot of
Yes,
digging.
I do.
A
Yes.
lot of digging. Yeah. And then the places they wind up is always weird to me too. Why? Why are there marbles in my little side yard?
Yeah.
I would expect to find marbles in old schoolyards. I mean, because that's growing up, that's where I played marbles, was in the schoolyard at school, So but just any old place, it seems like anywhere you dig, you're gonna find a marble.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah. No
Everybody's losing
idea.
their marbles.
Yes. I see. I just feel like I'm going around finding my own that I had lost over time.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else. I know that the mudlarking too, there's a spot near me that I don't know if a jewelry box got tossed out but I've ended up finding, I think it's been like, and one fell down, but I got a gold nugget ring, missing the
nice.
stone, so I'm still looking for it.
Ooh.
You got the silver spoon handle ring.
Ah, yes.
2 of these now,
Nice.
all in the
Well,
same location, and it's I don't know, like, why would all these rings be popping up?
Now, is that gold ring real? Is it 14 karat,
It
18
is,
karat?
probably 10,
I think it was 14.
Oh,
14.
at least it ain't gold filled, right?
Yes,
Right, right.
absolutely.
So what about, have you ever thought about looking for lost treasures? And I
Lost.
don't mean, yeah, I don't mean like well, yeah, famous ones too, but you know, there's always stories about somebody being robbed and the police chasing them and they caught him, but the money was gone or the jewels were gone, the coins were gone. I mean, we have stories here too, and I'd love to go to one spot because find all them coins.
I've thought about it, and then obviously with Gypsy, with the Beyond Oak Island stuff, talking about searching for treasure, her and I obviously we talk a lot doing the
Yeah.
Treasure Vortex show, and she got me thinking about it, and I started talking to John, and I'm like, we have to have stories like that around here, and we did. We started going through them, and just that we should look into this one and that one. It's just crazy how time flies, and you realize, when it's just time flies. It's just so many things to do. So I have to kind of like, all right, what do I want to do today? I can go,
Yeah,
down
because
here in Mudlark
something like
or
something like an adventure, something like that
yeah.
would be you'd have to just get into doing that.
Yep.
It would have to you'd have to focus in on that. I mean, you could go, well, let's go see if we can find that treasure today, and
Yeah.
then go someplace you might have thought of, Yeah, that's something that you would, if you were really serious about it, you'd have to get. Well, what fun would that be?
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun, you know. Be like an
Well,
Oak Island.
yeah.
Get the stolen treasure chest that got thrown over the bridge, back in the 30s or 40s or whatever.
Arr.
Those stories are out there. Some of them could be really true
Yeah.
too.
But then that's one of the things, if we ever did find something like that, I'm not sure any of you would know.
Right? Like finding a
Absolutely.
tin
I would
can of
never
gold
tell.
eagles. And find what?
Yep. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Yeah, don't bother looking for Jesse James treasure because I would never tell you I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that's because we've seen that where somebody that happened 2 years ago in California.
Yeah.
People found those jars of silver coins. Well,
Yep.
I guess they got them back. Did they get them back?
Some tin cans of gold
Yeah,
coins.
a container. A
Yeah.
container full of coins, silver coins. Did they get those back?
I've heard 2 different stories. So, which is
They probably got,
misinformation?
after paying the lawyers and the fees and everything, they probably got one coin.
Right, right.
But yeah, that's yeah, that would be fun. But
Patrick O'Masters asked, don't they find megalodon teeth on the shores of Maine?
That I have not heard of. I will actually have to look into that. I have a shark tooth sifter, and I honestly had never heard of megalodon teeth being found, but you never know. I mean, it's possible.
you don't know until you start looking for it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know
Oh
we
yeah,
have.
that's down here. Oh well, now I gotta go look.
Yeah. Now I add it to the list.
I know, isn't that terrible?
Well,
So
no,
you
it's
come
not. It's not
no, so you
terrible.
come on tonight. Now you've added megalodon teeth to your list. Magnet fishing, gold prospecting. You're
Yeah.
gonna do sailing next.
That one I don't think so.
No,
No, I don't think so.
That
no.
sounds so fun, though.
Yeah,
Parasailing?
sounds like fun. to get out there. And any questions out here? Let's see what's okay. Well, let's do some hypotheticals here.
Okay.
Hypothetical. You have no restrictions, all the money in the world, no time limit, no nothing. Do whatever you want to do. Go wherever you want to go and treasure hunt for what and where.
I want to mudlark the River Thames. That's
With
what I want to
Nicole
do.
White.
I would, yes, it would be amazing to visit with Nicola and Cy and Father Thames and all the rest of them. It's one of those things that to be able to find a Roman coin while mudlarking, or those intact clay pipes. I mean, I find intact clay pipes, but not as frequent as they do. And it's just the trade tokens, the lead trade tokens, the oh man, it's just the garnets that are there. I mean, it's just
Really?
they
Yeah.
have like the best of all of it. So that would be something I'd really like to do. It would be absolute top of my list.
Awesome.
Yep. I mean, and I know that they bring the detectors down, but I don't think as a guest or from outside the country, I could get a permit to dig. I think you have to be part of that society to go to dig down. So, but if I have no restrictions,
You could go as a guest and watch, huh?
correct. Or, if I have no restrictions and there's no money, nothing, no worry about money, no worry about job, I would move there, live there, join that group.
There you go.
Yep.
Just so you can do that, huh?
Yes,
Why not?
exactly.
No restrictions.
Yep.
So, so one of the other questions we like to ask around here is like, what's been like the scariest thing that's happened while you were out treasure hunting, mudlarking, metal detecting? Either four-legged creature, two-legged creature, or just circumstances that happen.
I have had
Maybe
a
even ghosts.
couple. There's been quite a few actually. So now,
now
now
I add that into it, right?
yeah. So four-legged, oh geez, a couple four-legged. So I was out metal detecting a property that I'm good friends with the property owner and their daughter. And I'm out, I have my headphones on, huge acreage, giant fields. They're all 10-acre lots of over 100 acres, but I was still close up with the house. And all of a sudden I was on my knees looking for the find in the plug, and I hear screaming my name, and I tilted my headphone off, and I realized that the daughter for the property owner was screaming my name and going, "Dog, dog!" And I look, and there's a Doberman coming at me, like snarling, and I'm just like, and there's a property owner probably 1,000 feet behind, going, "Not friendly, not friendly." I'm like,
what do you want to
"Are
hear?
you kidding me?" So thankful for our hand lash and my shovel, because that immediately both were brought up, and I got up, and this dog, came at me, and thankfully the property owner got back as I'm wielding my shovel and the hand lash. Must have looked crazy out there doing it, but definitely didn't expect it. And that was one thing, I do a lot more detecting, and there's been other situations as well with two-legged scary people and things like that.
I'll bet.
Um, that the
Yeah.
headphone,
Although that's something you don't want to hear from a dog owner.
yeah,
Not friendly. Not
Right.
friendly. Oh,
yeah,
crap.
yep, and the dog snarling, and
Right.
it was not, it was scary. It was scary.
I'll bet. Oh, yeah.
So from then on, there's been times I'll always keep the headphone kind of altered a little bit so I can hear. It's not fully over the ear. And then Another situation, I always carry mace now. That's
Yeah.
in my side pouch. I make sure though, state laws, what states I can carry, carry it and carry over the state line with, but that is now in my pouch as well.
Mostly
um,
for the two-legged type?
the two-legged type, correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm sure.
Had one come up behind me and start saying I was stealing their things, and I was
Oh, boy.
not in public property, so it wasn't like, and I had permission from the rec to be there. So that wasn't cool.
No.
um, and I'm trying to think that I've lucked out a lot of times that I will make a decision like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to this field today. And then I change my mind and I'm like, no, instead I'm gonna go creek walking. And come to find out, someone sends me a picture and is like, you're not out here detecting, are you? And there's a bear. And I'm like,
No.
nope, nope, I'm not
Nope, not
there.
today.
Chose changed my mind today, or I was gonna be there.
Well, yeah, you're in bear country, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
There's a couple property owners that will not permit me on their land without carrying because of the bears. So
right. I can imagine. It seems to me that you'd want to not go by yourself ever. You're
I
just,
do though.
yeah, right. I know some people do.
Yep.
I think it's not the smartest thing you can do,
Mm,
you know.
that's
I
very
mean,
true.
for lots of reasons,
Yes.
bears, weird people, mad dogs, heart attacks, strokes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fall, break a hip.
I mean, I take all the precautions I possibly can. I let people know where I'm going, when I'm going. I let them know when I'm there. I'll take a break partway through and touch base. I leave my location GPS on my phone and make sure that when I get back to my truck, I call and, hey, all right, I'm back. I'm going to go. And then, like I said, I try to carry the necessary uh, tools,
Equipment.
equipment to make sure I am as safe as
That's
I can
good.
be.
Yeah. It's just, I just, it's one of my things is safety.
Yeah.
I really like to push safety, go out with somebody,
Yep.
the way I was brought up, always, partners. So yeah. So what else? What else you got for us? You're
Well,
supposed to be doing all the talking, not me.
I know, I know. Well, I just got back from come out swinging in Pennsylvania, and that was my first time in Pennsylvania digging, and that was a lot of fun. I found a colonial shoe buckle frame it was broken. I found a section of it, and then I did, you do the circle and you crisscross and try to find the other half. Couldn't find it. Finally gave up, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna move on. Within a 5-mile walk, I ended up finding the other piece. So that was pretty exciting. It must have got, separated by the tractor and
Well, again, too, if it breaks, the buckle isn't necessarily going to come right off when it breaks. It may hang on for a little while. You might
yeah,
walk a mile and then finally falls
it's
out.
true. That's very true. Very true.
You never know.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Let's see. I did find, so there's a infamous dump that I go to with quite a few people, and it's a button dump, and it's outside an old industrial mill. So what they would do is they would take the clothing and, shred it all down,
Right.
make it into wool and other items or more uniforms. So that is one of my favorite dumps to go to find, all the different buttons, the firemen, police, eagle buttons. I think World War II, and we've found a couple earlier ones. And then I found my first gold 2 years ago, the first gold of the year. I found gold cufflinks that were there, and that was a lot of fun. But it's neat how the dump digging, all of a sudden you have bottle dump digging and button dump digging, or in some cases I know in New York they have buckle dump digging.
Well, I imagine any industry where they would where they would have where they were making buttons, where they were making
Yeah.
buckles, where they were making glass, whatever they were making there somewhere, especially 100 years ago, they would dump their either their bad product or their waste would usually get dumped either down a hill or on the pile and back.
Yep.
Just and then over the years they've grown trees and dirt on them, and now you got to find them. It's like marbles. If you go to like some of the old marble manufacturing companies, you go
Yeah.
outside their area. There's usually going to be a dump area where they've thrown old slag, where they've thrown imperfect marbles that didn't come out quite right. Whatever,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a dump there somewhere. They do find them. So
Yep.
dumps are fun.
They are. They are. I find that you with the mudlarking and the dump digging though, I have a tendency of, I bring all these extra bags and then I actually end up having to use all those extra bags and I'm walking out like I was just coming out of the mall or something, carrying all my
The bag lady.
Yep.
Look what I got today, honey.
Yep. Yeah, my backyard is turning into a dump from I got the old sink that we hook up to the hose and clean
Old
all the
porcelain,
things. Yep.
cast iron sinks. So let me ask you this, because once you've gone like all year collecting all this treasure and scrap,
Yeah,
do you turn metal in? Do you scrap it?
I do
Yeah,
turn metal in. Yep.
yeah.
We have
Cool.
one right down the street. The other thing too is I work with a couple artists. So little pieces of brass and copper and just different, the lead wheel here and
Right.
there, the little toy car wheels. And I will send them out to California and she makes art out of them.
Oh,
So
awesome.
I'll do that. And then there's actually um, a guy named Chris, and I'll find all the bases of the old glass bottles. They're all shattered everywhere. I
Right.
ship him a big box every now and again, and he makes arrowheads out of them.
Oh,
He flint
awesome. Yeah.
knaps. Yeah,
That's what
arrowhead.
I did with the glass that I found, because I was finding pieces like this of plate,
Yeah.
up to a half-inch thick, or
Mhm.
anywhere from a quarter to a half-inch, different thicknesses, different colors. I mean, even
Slag.
and slag glass, yeah, and slag
Ah,
glass. And I guess what would happen is as they were running it down the line to squeeze it down to the proper thickness, it breaks.
Yep.
It comes out the wrong color. Well, here's a piece off. Here's a piece right here. Check this piece out.
Oh, that's neat.
This is kind of stuff that I would find.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
and and I would sell it to the nappers. I got a guy in Tennessee who loved napping glass. So I get on Facebook and I go napping, and all these guys on there talking about napping and making arrowheads and this and that. So
Okay, wait, sorry, Jesse. I'm getting complaints.
oh no.
I'm getting complaints because they couldn't see what you showed Amanda because I had Amanda pinned.
Oh, I'm sorry. So that means you want me to bring my glass out?
Yes.
Okay.
You can blame it all on Moto Mining.
That moto. So that's just one of the pieces. This is just one of the pieces that I found. And I mean, I've probably brought home 3 5-gallon buckets full of different kinds of glass, different colors. I got a piece that looks like a cactus, like the cactus that it's about that long and it's green.
That's awesome.
Just a lot of stuff. But I would sell them the plate glass. I'd give $50 for a small flat rate box.
Yep.
you know.
But it's great that people can reuse it. So that's what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like. And then, yeah, the heavy iron and things like that, I wait until I have about 10 buckets and load up the back of the truck and weigh it
Right.
down and bring it over. And yeah,
Heck
I'm
yeah.
currently only at 5 buckets, so I
Oh,
need
wow.
to do a little bit more digging.
That's cool. So,
Yeah.
so do you push the fact that you're literally cleaning up the environment?
Do I push it?
Yeah.
You mean like out to everyone?
Well, when you're doing your videos,
I do and I don't. At times I do, but other times no. I mean, it's one of those things that I hope like we're all trying to do when we're out there. And I don't know. I don't
eh,
want,
yeah. Well, the only reason I say that is because, like with us, for with prospecting, we've got such a bad reputation because
yes,
of how mining used to be done. You know, pretty much the community has self-regulated itself to today's standards.
mm,
Uh, I mean, with laws too, but for the most part, you know, been self-regulation, and even with the shows that they show on the History Channel and that, they never show them cleaning up. They
yeah,
never show that part, so that leaves a bad taste in people's, you know, mouth. You
yep,
know, so any chance we get, we like to push the fact that we're cleaning up. We're cleaning the creeks. We're cleaning out. You
yeah,
know, we fill in holes. We don't leave a mess. We
yep,
take out more than we bring in.
yes,
All those
absolutely.
things, you know.
Leave it looking better than
Yes,
when you got there.
and it doesn't hurt if we push that in our videos and whenever we can, you know.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
you know, and that's the only reason I say it. I mean, because you know,
I
it,
find it difficult with some videos because they'll watch, people will watch these mudlark and dump digging videos and then go, why didn't you pick that up? Why didn't you? And it's, well, the whole entire beach is glass. I can't pick up
right,
every item,
right.
and I have
Well,
to
you know, those
explain.
those are just complainers.
Yeah. I mean,
They're just complaining. Yeah,
there's,
they're like Moto Mike over here. They're
yeah.
complaining because he didn't get to see the glass.
I mean, there's 2 beaches I've had competitions with to see how much lead I can get out of both of them. And they've just progressively just been horrible, the amount of lead. Whether
Yeah,
it's, and it's crazy too because a lot of it is lead bale seals in one, which is really neat to find them.
they're lead
Um,
what?
bale seals that
Oh,
they'd be
okay, yeah,
the,
yeah, right. I know what you're talking about.
and then the other one is just giant chunks of melted lead, not
Huh.
bullets, I'm not sure, just so much lead. So I will show videos of me picking up the lead with gloves
Is
on and
there
taking
some
it.
kind of processing
Yeah,
going on
maybe
nearby?
could
You know,
be.
like
And
a smelter or something?
it's still, it's part of the dump. So I'm not sure if just
Oh,
people were
okay, yeah, yeah.
tossing it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
But I do have, when I am showing videos like that. So yeah, you're right. I probably need to push that a little bit more. I
You
know
know, you
there's
don't have to make. I mean, I'm not saying make a whole video about that, but you know,
yeah.
a mention here and there. Say, yeah, I just cleaned up 50 pounds of lead off this thing.
Yeah.
I wish I could get it all, but I can't.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. You know, just smart ass remarks about having to clean up the beach because
Yeah.
people have left trash behind. You know,
Yeah.
I
Actually, it would probably be good for all of us because
well, yeah, and
just
that's
about every
right.
hobby has a bad name right now. And
Sure, yeah, you know, and especially when you got uh, how am I going to say this? when you have people spouting out false information about what's really out on our planet, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing a very good job, but there's not a lot that we're gonna do to actually hurt the planet, but let's keep it clean anyways, you
Yeah.
know?
Or try to at least clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, right, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna stop greenhouse gases or whatever, you know. I mean, I can be zero carbon free and pollutant free, and it ain't gonna solve nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But Yeah, a little bit every time, just a mention here and there. But what can it hurt, right?
Yeah, it's very true. A couple of the places that I go to, there's a creek down the street from me that I love walking in. And in the summer, it's great because it's between two giant hills. So it's always at least 20 degrees cooler. Um, I will go there every spring and fall and try to pick up all the trash because it blows down because there's a
Right.
store right next to it. And it's crazy the amount of bags I fill. I'm like, oh, you guys can't.
Just watching the Treasure Vixens doing their metal or their magnet fishing. It's
Mhm.
incredible the amount of trash that gets thrown. Well, not all of it gets thrown into the creek. Some of it is washed in from floods, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But a majority is thrown in, and that's really a shame that people do that. So,
And
terrible.
And it's sad too. I mean, it's a beautiful place to just go and there's areas to sit, like because there's the old foundations there. You could sit and
Mhm.
watch the creek, and there's a waterfall or the dam. I call it the waterfall, but it's part of the dam. You can sit there and watch it come over the rocks from this original mill section, and it's just always filled with trash.
Yeah,
But
that's terrible. Yeah. Like I said, not always us doing it. Sometimes things happen,
yeah,
but at the
absolutely.
same time, there's just as much people doing that too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Like a washing machine.
yeah, like a washing machine or that motorcycle,
Yeah, the 10 pounds of tires or
Right.
not
Oh
10
yeah,
pounds,
right. Yeah.
that's hundreds of pounds, the thousands of pounds of
Piles of
tires.
tires.
Now, I would that been mudlarking whenever we prospected at Pirates Cove?
Wow.
'Cause we'd bring buckets and buckets of garbage out of that place. It's over in Indiana, and we dug pretty good gold too. But man, I
Yeah.
tell you, when
Mix it
you're
with zipper
crev,
teeth and
it's
tons of zipper teeth.
oh, I was gonna bring that up. It really stinks when you're crevicing and you think you found a picker and you take a closer look at it and it's a brass tooth from a zipper. You're like, oh man.
Because like this particular creek, I don't know if it cuts directly through it, but it runs along a dump.
Yeah.
And I guess there was some kind of, again, a clothes, something to do with clothes. They either, shredded them up and used them over again, discard the hardware. But yeah, I mean, it's like every pan had a bunch of zipper teeth in it. And like I said, when you first see it, you go, "Oh wow, check that! What? Oh, what is that? What is that?" Get the loop out, and it's a tiny little tooth from a zipper, and just everywhere, wire, just all kinds of, just trash.
Oh,
But
TVs. You'd be
yeah,
surprised. Spark plugs up the wazoo.
yeah. Wasn't there a carburetor or something? Didn't the Biffles
Oh
find
yeah,
something on the
I
carburetor?
would.
But
It didn't
it's
come home in my bucket, but I wouldn't
no.
doubt it.
But it happens to run either, like I said, through a dump or next to it. So during flooding, it pulls a lot of that crap out and we're washing it downstream. You can't blame, well, it's still people put it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn people, they're destroying this planet.
Oh my. Just trying to think. What else?
So what other
So
stories you got? Tell us a good ghost story. I know you got one.
ghost story.
Yeah, you had to run into something supernatural, especially out there in Maine. I mean, whoa.
Yeah. There's one site that I go to that it could be super hot and I always get a cold chill and then my machine goes crazy and then shuts off. And it's always one spot. Always one spot. I'm not sure why. I
A spot in a
usually
particular area or the whole
yeah.
area?
Nope, just the one spot in this big area. And it's outside an old foundation and There's a house built there now, so I won't have to deal with the spirit that's
Oh,
there.
okay, well, that's good. I wonder how they're
Um,
doing.
yeah, I don't know. I need to actually, everything I found there will be going back. I have it displayed. I just haven't printed out their index card. So I'll ask them when I get there how it is.
Yeah, how's it, any weird activities going on?
Yep. Other than that, I don't think I've really had any creepy. I mean, gone into the woods and you find I have found the doll head, like I don't even know, the rubber doll head with the eyes blacked out and the hair like, and it was just the head sitting on the ground. That's a little bit creepy.
Well, it's like you were saying earlier, a lot of old history in Maine, a lot
Yep.
of old beliefs in Maine, you know.
Yeah.
So, they had, we've always had witches, and I guess they had them too.
Yep. Did have, oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say this past weekend. So we left the event on Sunday and decided to go door knocking. And whenever the John and I go out, we'll go down the street and go, okay, right or left, and one of us will go right and then left. And there was a gentleman sitting outside of this giant property. So we pulled in and was like, hi, I'm Amanda. This is John. We metal detect. And there was a big convention, over here. And he looked so excited. And he goes running inside. He's like, I have a metal detector. I don't know how to use it. And I'm like, all right, well, what do I showed him what I had, what we had. And so he goes in and he brings out a Garrett Ace 250 or a 350. And I'm like, all right, I've never used one before. I'm like, but I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. So walked him through it and he's like, I've never really used it. So I was like, all right. And he gave us permission to detect. So all right, so I'm like, you lead the way. And he leads us back to this huge field. And he's all excited. He's out there, he's digging, hasn't used his detector before. And I've showed him, and he didn't have a pinpointer. So I stayed kind of close and would run down when I'd see he had a good signal. But I swear it was only found can slaw. And then basically a half a Home Depot bucket of can slaw. So we get back and I'm like, I know what you did. You got us to help clean out the trash from your field. And I walked him through the pinpointer, but he seems so excited. He's headed to the beach in a couple weeks, and now he's got a little bit of a handle. And I'm like, I looked at John and I'm like, it was meant to be. We were meant to come here to help this person. I bet they're gonna find such cool stuff. And
So yeah, I can imagine he starts looking in his own yard.
yeah, yep. And that's what we said too. We're like, that, you have this really old barn. We had gone back into the fields with him, and we're like, if you're gonna detect, you should do next to your house, next to the barn. Yeah.
In the yard, around the
Yep.
tree, Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was a fun story from this past weekend. That was
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Any chance you get anytime you get a chance to show somebody and they show that kind of enthusiasm, hey,
Yep.
it was meant to be,
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah,
we're
definitely.
out there. It started hailing on us. And we're like, what? Like,
Yeah,
I had to pull up.
heavy
Oh, go
metal
ahead.
detective says, yeah, he swindled them.
Yes. But I had to pull up the radar because, Pennsylvania, I'm not sure. There was tornadoes everywhere and stuff. And I'm like, hail, okay. Coming
Okay.
from Maine. So I pull it up. I'm like, there's nothing on the radar. I don't know what the heck this is.
That's cool. So, but he got all into it, and now he's
Yep.
gonna dig his whole yard up.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
You show him how to do
Absolutely.
you show him how to do a proper plug and everything.
No, actually I didn't because
Uh-oh.
I figured it was his own property. I was letting him do what he wanted.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll let you back on next time you're that way.
Yeah, actually he did. They did. They extended the invite. They gave us their address and whatnot, and we took pictures with them with them and his
Awesome.
metal detectors. So
Cool. That's
yeah, it was a good
cool.
time.
Now,
I'm sure.
here's a question for you. We've brought up before, Amanda. How many times, or if yet, has someone came up to you, say, I know who you are. You're a Digger DeGaz. I
A
guess
couple
it's
times,
pretty
I
hard
guess.
for TikTok users since
Yeah.
they they probably say those gloves look familiar.
Yes. Yeah, but I haven't shown my face yet on TikTok except for my picture. I
They'll
think
know
from
your voice. They'll know
yes.
your voice. They will.
It's
They will know
happened.
your voice. Oh yeah. That's how I
Because
was recognized. Yeah, same here. I was recognized because of my voice.
It's awesome. That's cool though. Yeah, that's cool.
But
Yeah,
it does happen.
it does.
so
So a
twice
few
so far.
times. Yeah, a few times this past weekend, and I think maybe at Digstock in New York, I think a few people had come up and said, "Hey, you're Amanda, Digger DeGaz," and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah."
I'm that I can understand, but I mean like out in general public.
Never.
Like if Trader of Diamonds or
That's where
Menards
I was
or
recognized.
Yeah, no, never.
oh, it will happen. It
I
will.
kind of hope not.
Yeah, it can be you have a reason to be a little leery of that, but at the same time, you almost have to expect it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
guess.
but I understand you being leery about it because you never know. You know, you might not have a cool dude or girl come up to you. You might have a hater
Yeah.
show up. Ooh. I mean, you never know. I
Yeah.
mean, but be aware that it will eventually happen. Your voice is enough distinct enough that someone will recognize it, especially since they don't see you anyway.
That's true. Yeah, the rate.
Go on.
That's true. The podcast is all voice, no viewing.
Right. This is
And,
the one and only.
and
No, I'm sure you.
oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna plug your podcast. Everybody remember Gypsy Jules and Amanda, they host the Treasure Vortex podcast every Monday, I believe it is. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay. I missed it last night, unfortunately. I came home and fell asleep on the chair. Lean back after eating and out go the lights. But
Yeah, you didn't miss anything. It was actually we had a pre-recorded show because Gypsy was traveling back from Arkansas
oh, okay.
Right.
from
She was.
yeah,
Yeah. She was out and about. I saw
correct.
some videos on Facebook.
Yep, and then I was coming back from Pennsylvania, and it was supposed to be a 6.5-hour trip, and it took 9.5 hours. So we
Sounds
basically
all right.
got back, yeah, got back, threw a load of laundry in and crashed out. So yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, thank you.
Thomas Folks' last night was pre-recorded.
Yes, it
What's
was.
up, Thomas? Any questions out there, guys?
You two put on a good show too, by the way. And when
Thank
I'm
you.
able to catch it, I do my best to.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I am so fortunate that I was asked to be a guest back in June or July of 2019. And then Gypsy and I hit it off, and Mike was looking for another female co-host to do the show with her. And then it rolled into just Gypsy and I doing Monday nights. And then at the end of last year, it got turned into, Gypsy's and my show. And so
Awesome.
now we own it, and it's under Treasure Vortex. So it was very exciting to be able to go that route, the roundabout route, and end up with a show. So
So you having fun with it? You having fun
yeah,
with it?
absolutely. Yeah. It's
Fun.
like, I'm sure you both, talking to other diggers, talking to other, hobbyists and treasure hunters, and it's a blast. It really
Sure.
is.
Well, it's a blast meeting other YouTubers. Also a blast meeting some of the TV stars that have been on our show too. From gold shows and stuff. But me, I like talking to you guys, the regulars, the normies as they're called. But because we're all learning, we're all learning. You bring on a TV star. You bring on a TV star for one of the gold shows, and everybody's and they're not, they're trying to be as natural as they can be, so it's always kind of weird and funny. But I prefer to talk to just other YouTubers, people that I'd like to hang out with,
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
great. Yeah,
I really prefer when our guest does all the talking.
Well, I don't know. I might have fallen a little short of that tonight.
But you understand why, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you do the same thing.
Correct.
How do you interview an interviewer?
I know. Yeah.
How do you do a show like this with another person that does the same thing and try not to be, I don't know, dopey about it, I guess. I don't know. It's just, but I have fun.
You're all doing a phenomenal job. I know it can't be easy. I try not to be too difficult though. I didn't ask for the jar of just green M&Ms.
Now I
need
won't
to
get any.
say-
I depend on our guests to ask for those so I can get some.
I need to interject for a second and say goodnight to Ambient Girl Diggs,
Good night.
Nancy. Good night. Thank you very much. It was great having you here. And by the way, everybody, our friend Nancy, Ambient Girl Diggs, will be our guest next week.
Yay.
So I hope to see many of you here as well. And we have a question from ToledoJess.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get another story out of it. Do you water hunt?
I do and I don't. So it depends if you're asking metal detecting. I have brought it in, to a lake before and detected, but I've also water hunted so the water's to about my waist, a little bit higher, and I know that there was a dump there. So I take a shovel and a floating sifter and I grab a giant, chunk of underneath and put it on the sifter and shake it and find treasure that way as well. It's kind of like dump digging-ish, but in the water. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Wherever they are, right?
Yeah.
You adjust.
Correct. Yeah. And in this spot, actually, I had pulled out, and sadly, I don't know. The serial numbers are all gone, and they're, I found 2 guns that were wrapped together, and a ton of jewelry, a padlock, a railroad padlock. It was so much fun that I dreamt about doing it again. You
Oh,
know,
no.
when you have that great time and
Right.
that's all you can think about, and you wake up from dreams going, all right, I gotta get back there. But
Cool.
I do
Uh,
find I have tried another area, and I don't know. I have a problem with the coil, with trying to swing it in the water. If it's, it just the waves. I found I was fighting against the waves, and it wasn't that much fun.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah. If
maybe
it's not fun,
a river or stream
yeah,
next time. Pull a aqua jigger or something.
yes, I think that would be a perfect. But yeah, in the waves, I had a lot of difficulty. I mean, with all the treasure hunting and stuff, I've had prior to all the treasure hunting, I've had quite a few shoulder surgeries. So my right shoulder has been like it's a robotic kind of. It's they broke bones and put bones in
Ooh.
places. And I love doing all the different treasure hunting, and I don't want to do something that will destroy being able to do any of them for a while. So that doing the beach or any wave-like areas, it's just not for me.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Well, John DeGaz said that counted, so.
Okay. I was gonna say it was a lot of fun, and I still, I hope I can get to that spot again this year. We'll have to find out, but it was a lot of goodies that came from that little area.
Little honey hole, huh?
It was, and now I finally have the waterproof case for the camera and the little, uh, yeah, I don't remember what the word is for it. To hold it so it will be down and
Right.
people can actually look at the sifter. Yeah.
Now, I I want to say you found a few arrowheads too, haven't you? Huh?
No, I have tried. I just can't seem to. And then, around here, they're supposedly around here. I've searched, John searched, friends have searched. We have not found any. And then when we went to Pennsylvania, the fields weren't plowed yet, like really, really plowed to be able to like look and see and have that rain, or we were just in the wrong area. And hopefully eventually I'll find one.
Again,
Oh,
again, you
I'm
gotta
sure
have
you
that
will.
trained eye.
Yes, yes.
Once you do spot one, you literally spot one, you go, oh, there's one there. They'll start popping out for you. You'll get your eye will start training for that. For those telltale signs of it was man-made.
Yeah.
They're fun to find, that's for sure.
I've been fortunate enough to find 2 arrowheads while prospecting.
That's cool.
Found them in my classifier.
Oh, that's awesome.
One I almost threw in the water until it caught, and I'm like, that ain't natural. Ugh. Jeez. Yeah, it was as cool find as a nugget would. It's same kind of thrill. It was cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. I do try to so say I'm going to go arrowhead hunting, I will try to watch some videos to kind of, they do the spot the find and they show everybody, can you see it? And so I'll try to do some of those I spy things before going. So
No,
hopefully
it's not gonna
hopefully
happen
that
until
will
you actually find it. It's not gonna happen until you actually see
ah,
it, or someone is able to point one out to you so you see it yourself. Yeah.
well, I do have to say I am always looking down. I am
Well,
always,
hey,
I mean,
yeah,
I find stuff all the time. It just has yet to be an arrowhead.
you'll find it.
I hope
You'll
so.
find it.
I hope so. That's on my list. Yep.
Oh, you will. Before too long.
Mm-hmm. Hope so. I mean, I'll be headed out towards Keene, New Hampshire in a couple weeks. And, if anywhere along the river, I'm hoping that some of those farm fields maybe as well. So I'll be keeping my eyes open there as well.
Things
Now,
don't
how
look the same
easy is
anymore.
it for you to get permission from farmers?
It's been relatively easy. I mean, once they find out that, we find some of this junk that can destroy their equipment, they've been pretty good about it. Obviously we work around harvest
Right,
and
right.
planting. And then I live in an area that is a lot of hay fields. So
Hmm.
you go out during, between the cut, and when it gets to your shoulders, you can't go out anymore. I'm not sure about certain areas, but up here, our ticks are horrible. So I try to stay away from the super, super long grass or the forests. And,
I haven't met a, I haven't met a fun tick yet.
no, that's, but so many. I come out and
Yeah.
it's crazy. So
Do
I have
you
to start.
do anything to help fight ticks, like wrap tape sticky side out on your pants or anything like that?
I use that yellow bottle Promethean on clothes that I wear out. I haven't tried the sticky tape, but I do come out and I have one of those sticky lint rollers, and I've done that and pulled a couple off. And then honestly, we were joking around this week about getting those flea and tick collars and putting them around our ankles while we're out there. I don't know.
Use
Any
use them to tie your pant legs, snug
Yeah,
them up around it.
yep.
Why not?
We'll do the socks on the outside of the pants and all the things. You've got all the layers tucked, and it's
And
just
then flea and tick collars around them.
yes, yeah. Might have to put
And
one around the
around
neck. Yeah.
around your neck,
So it'd
one
be like
around your waist, couple around your waist, in that way.
be like, what's that pink collar you're wearing? Oh, this is my flea and tick collar. Oh,
Hey, it
jeez.
might work.
Yeah, yeah. You don't know unless you give it a try.
Mr. Lodak says she must not be from there. She doesn't have the funny Bob Drake accent. Our friend Bob Drake, down east detecting and prospecting. Yeah, we tease him about Square Nail Bob too. So.
Yep. No, that's down east is a few hours north of me, so
few hours north.
Yeah, down east is
northeast.
north.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I am in the southernest part of Maine, and we are not down east. So
York Beach.
I am near the beach. Yes.
My in-laws, ex-in-laws used to, or late in-laws, how should I put that? They had a place in York Beach.
That's a fantastic beach. You've got short sands and long sands, and you can detect both. And
Yeah, I've actually surfed there too.
yes, good surfing as well. I do know one of the first times that I went beach hunting was in at Short Sands, and there's some territorial metal detectorists in our area. So they see other people coming in with detectors, and I just remember this lady coming over and basically trying to swing her detector like over ours so it would, overload.
Oh,
Like, what?
localism and metal detecting too.
Yes.
I learned to live with that growing up in California surfing. But he's out metal detecting. Get off my beach.
Yep. So we leave the beach to them. I'd rather, the fields and with the other hobbies. There's plenty of other places we can go. So you can have your beach. I don't want it.
John, the digologist, says, tell her to get some permethrin bug
Permethrin.
repellent by Sawyer. Okay.
Yep, it's
She uses it already, John. Shh.
no, it's good. I mean, it is good. It's stuff that you have to soak your clothes in though, and then let it dry. And yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's a pain.
Okay,
Sounds
so
like
Or deep woods off. But I found that I think the bug sprays that are even, I don't know how much percentage of DEET, that stuff doesn't cut it anymore either. They're like, oh, what's this? Oh, I like it.
come on, Pete.
Yes,
Here I come.
it was a repellent,
exactly.
now it's an attractant.
Yup. They're like,
I used to
oh,
hate it, but I grew to love it.
yup, exactly. They, you'd cover yourself head to toe in it. It wouldn't be a problem. And then you all of a sudden, now you put it on and they're like, all right, we're going to still enjoy you.
Party time,
Yep.
party time.
Yeah, buggers, they get immune to stuff and adapt. Shame
Yeah.
on them. And you're right. Whoever said ticks suck, I think that was Bill. The ticks suck. That they do.
Yeah.
That's their
We,
job.
we used to joke around that it was Satan's army, these little horrible creatures that would have no use for them whatsoever.
I can't think of any purpose
Yeah.
for 'em.
Oh.
Actually, they suck blood, have babies, and die. Not like I don't even think they're a food source, are they?
I know
What eats
that.
them?
So possums, I believe, in our area eat them, chickens, turkeys,
Oh,
but
okay.
there's plenty of other things that those creatures can eat. So
Right.
there's no,
Not like they're out hunting ticks, right?
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, inheriting the earth. Yes.
They are. They are. And I mean, we didn't get as much snow as we usually get. We did get some, but it just wasn't what it usually is. And they said it hasn't been as cold as it needs to be. So they didn't kill as many. And it's like, and then they're like, it was a really wet spring. So they're not, it's going to be really bad. And then they say it was a really dry spring. So it's going to be really bad. And I'm like, you don't even know. You don't know what they like and don't like.
Right.
They've survived all these
Yes.
centuries, all this time. I doubt a little bit cold, a little bit
Yeah.
wet, a little bit dry is not going to kill them off.
Correct. Some of them are
Not
tougher
enough
than
snow.
I
Wasn't
am.
cold long enough.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it. Some of them are tougher than me. I mean, it takes everything to try to kill them. So I
Oh,
mean, I can't. Well, they're not going anywhere.
no. They've been here longer than we have, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Let's
Probably.
see. Possums eat a lot of ticks. Ron for the hills.
All kinds of possums are good.
Yes, possums are good. And that's probably, so if you went way back in my videos, you saw me rehabbing chipmunks. Is that what you were talking about? I was bottle feeding a chipmunk.
Oh,
We
hey,
like our animals up here.
chipmunks need loving too.
Yes.
So we've got a whole chat room here talking about
Ticks.
insects, ticks.
Sorry.
And how, let's
They're
see.
starting to remind me of a song by Oingo Boingo back in the day. Insects ruling the world. Insects. Oh, how does it go? Never mind. I'm having a brain fart on the lyrics. Oh.
So Jared says beetles are tick predators.
Oh,
So if
that I
there's a
did not know.
lot of beetles around, or
That I did not know.
munching.
Scientists have reported insects are now developing means to kill humans since we are their biggest predator.
Oh, that's fun. So those of us that spend, 80% of our time outdoors.
Yeah, you're going first.
Yes. All
They're
right.
coming after us.
No. Too funny.
LBPA for life, Ron.
That's right. And my voice ain't normal yet. Don't know if
Yeah.
it will ever be. So don't even try, Jesse. Don't even.
What's that? Sing for us, Ed? Oh, come on. You can do it.
Oh man.
Oh, come on. You can do it. Don't be that way. Ruby wants to hear it. Oh.
Thank you, Ruby. Usually I do a like Iron Maiden thing for Run for the Hills. You know, the song Run to the Hills, Run for the Woods or Hills. But no, I can't. My voice is starting to feel better. Sorry, Ron.
Lawrence says Japanese beetles must not like them much, or ticks would be extinct by now. Yeah, we got a lot of Japanese beetles.
So many. Everything's so little on the chat.
I know. I'm straining too.
Well, I've got the phone. So it's yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Still small.
one good thing about 3 monitors.
Yeah. Yep. I will probably need to invest in something like that.
Are you on a laptop or desktop?
I'm on a laptop.
Oh, there is a port for an extra monitor in the back.
Yep.
They do come in handy, and a lot of places you can pick up decent ones for fairly cheap. If you like thrifting, stuff like that.
Yeah, I do have a couple extra monitors. I just haven't. There's no real room between like all the relics and the cleaning and the stacks I've got going over here.
Priorities.
It's a spatial problem.
It is a spatial problem, and that I don't have a desk to set it on because my desk is currently over here. Yeah.
And it's full of relics.
Yes.
That's full of relics.
How do you restore any of the relics you find with like electrolysis or anything like that?
Yep, I do the electrolysis, and then I have all the different brushes and utensils and the brass cleaner and the lime away and the rust away for the bottles and the squeaky clean and the so I try I try the best I can to clean up. I do know that once the season starts going, I just create a couple boxes, and put the fines in the bags, put them in the box, and try to save some of that for winter.
When you're up there would be a good time for your research and restoration, definitely.
Yep. And that's why my desk kind of looks the way it does, because I was doing the final wrap ups, my cataloging and cleaning up fines. So like I haven't finished yet because I started digging again. It came a little early this year, which is awesome, but yes.
It came early.
It did.
Same time it always comes.
No, actually, we usually do have snow on the ground, or have had snow on the ground still, or the ground's still frozen. So it came much earlier. So so I haven't finished what I needed to do because all of a sudden the attention span went, woo, must go find more treasure.
Yeah, but it gives you more to do next week.
It does. It does.
Because I heard early spring, bad winter. Never know. Next year might have tons of.
True. Very true. I hope not.
You don't ski or anything like that?
I used to, but again, the possibility of falling down the mountain and hurting my arms, and taking away from stuff that I actually enjoy,
Right.
it's like, no, I'm good.
Things you know you can do without getting hurt.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
For the most part.
I snowshoe, but we didn't really even have enough. Well, when we did have enough snow, it was -30 below, and I didn't want to go outside.
Yeah, no
That's
doubt.
understandable. That's
Yeah,
understandable. Definitely. Definitely.
yeah. Throw myself off a mountain, find treasure.
Nah, yeah, let's go
Yeah,
look for treasure.
yeah.
So,
Right.
do you get into flea marketing or auctions or anything like that?
I do. I do.
Ah,
We like the
cool.
flea markets. We like the consignment stores. There's a lot of them in this area, and they can
Yeah.
be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. How about auctions? Ever do
Auctions,
auctions?
I only just started finding out about all these different ones, so I'm trying to slowly get to them, and I've gotten to a couple now, but not as many as I would like to, because
You know, there's a site called Auction Zip,
okay,
auctionzip.com, and you put in your zip code
yeah,
and however distance you want to travel, and it'll pull up all the auctions going on for that month, whatever's up for that month, but definitely for that week. Auctionzip.com.
awesome. All right,
Yeah, put in your zip code in there, and all the auctions right in your area. It's
that's
so
awesome.
much fun.
So I reach
Yeah, that's
for a
cool.
notepad right away. Ooh, auction.
That's our auction zip.
I don't have post-it notes around me, so yes, the notepad.
Well, it's that time, Amanda, and
Is it? No, it is.
yeah, time flies when you're having fun. I tell you.
It
Um,
was a lot of fun.
I'm glad
Well, it's been
you
fun.
definitely. I'm glad you joined us tonight, Amanda. It's been a pleasure. I definitely look forward to, knock on wood, meet you and Gypsy Jules in Indiana in September.
That would be great.
Uh, I have it on my calendar. I'm really pushing to make that outing work. Uh, all of you out there, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Team Lynch, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. And Ron, Heavy, sorry, no Iron Marvin tonight. Um, my voice is just starting to feel better, or my throat. So, hey, and my voice is starting to sound a little better. It isn't always great, but it's starting to be less hoarse. So I hope you all understand. Next week, we're having Ambient Girl Diggs with us that night, our friend Nancy.
Cool.
That should be another great show. Um, of course, it'd be a show. What am I thinking?
Gonna be a
Other
good
than
show.
that, we have 13 spots left available for Flash Bash. First weekend in June. Um, that I know will be a good time. It ain't your typical event or outing. It's more of a lot of YouTubers getting together and enjoying everybody's company. Um, Other than that, make sure if you're in the area, come to the GPA Golden Treasure Show at Ohio State Fairgrounds and Expo Center. ToledoJess, Dano, and I will be there. Very good chance Rose
Oh,
will be
Rose,
there
hopefully.
also. Um, Anything else, Jesse?
Flash Bash, Gold Rush Days for the Buckeye chapter,
Yeah, every Labor Day weekend,
right? And then the
Buckeye
Goat Show.
chapter of the GPAA has their um, Gold Rush Days at the beautiful Swank West property. Um, Beautiful
Worth the trip
place.
going there.
Yes, yes. People come from all over. Even celebrities show up there once in a while. Rules? There ain't no stinking rules.
Rules? What rules? What are rules?
What else? Anything
Oh,
else?
wait. Oh, I got one right here.
Wait.
There's a rule.
That's one rule you can live by. Yes, my random thoughts. The Swank West is amazing, well kept up property.
Yes, it is.
Thanks to our friends and fellow members of the Buckeye chapter. Great group of people, just like all of you out there. And on that note, I told Amanda only about 2 hours. So she's been gracious enough to take up
Hang out
this
with us.
time with us and hang out. And it's been a pleasure. So thank you again. And everybody, till next time, may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's going to say next.
That's right, because it does happen. Ask JP. Ask Ohio Relic.
Ray Russo.
Not yet. We haven't met Ray yet, but we will.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, Ray. Hi, Ray.
Heavy metal detective. It does happen. Maybe one day too. We'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. See you next week.
Hi, everyone.
Or I'm sure I'll see you in someone else. Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night, David.
Thank you, Brad, JP, Ray
Mr.
Russo.
Lomax, welcome to
Great job as always. After party at Gold Prospectors Space.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, don't forget to listen to Prospectors Radio every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Time over at GoldProspectorsSpace.com.
Hi, Mountaineer Michael. Mountaineer Michael.
Hi,
Random
random
thoughts.
thoughts. Heavy metal, Ringo. You're more than welcome, Ringo. It's our pleasure.